Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mayor's Monday Message for June 15th, 2020. Got a lot to get through today, so I'm going to try and be as quick as possible. First of all, the City Hall opens, the Treasurer's Office opens next Monday, June 22nd. So if you've been holding off on paying those parking tickets or sewer bills or anything that you normally come into the Treasurer's Office for, the windows where you pay your fees and tickets and things like that, you're welcome to come in. All other meetings or any kind of other business is done by appointment. And you'll see right on our yorkcity.org website on the front page, just scroll down and there's the phone contacts for everybody there that you can set up appointments with. So again, the Treasurer's Office is open, and you can still drop things in the white post office box at the back of City Hall if you want to, but if you need receipts or want to talk to somebody about something, you can come in. And also, we're getting ready to ramp up the amnesty program for the sewer bills. I know a lot of people have been asking about this, and that will be starting up again, and we're going to extend that into July to make sure that people can get caught up, and anyone looking to either have their bill forgiven based on their income levels below the federal poverty guidelines. That's option A. Or option B is if you have half of it, if you can pay 50% of what you owe, we'll forgive the other 50%. And then we have the 10-year, 120-month payment plan that if you can stick to that payment plan, after the first 75% is paid off, we'll forgive that last 25%. So that's all going to be back up and running here shortly, and we'll let you know. Also, large item pickup starts again tomorrow. So I know we've had some difficulty and some people have been storing stuff. It's been a little bit of a burden on our contractor with everybody staying home and creating more trash than normal. So now we're ready to go, getting everything that we can back to normal. Let's see. Fireworks. Fireworks, and more fireworks. I want to explain something to people, and I want to explain a few things. First of all, fireworks are not legal anywhere in the city of York unless you are 100 feet away from any residential property. And they're not legal on city property, which basically means they are not legal in the city of York. There are only a few houses, only a few locations where fireworks actually are legal based on the state's standards. So as you know, fireworks were illegal across the state. The sale of fireworks was illegal. The legislature and governor decided to open up fireworks for sale everywhere. And they put in place these laws that said you can't fire off fireworks within 100 feet of a residence or on public property. They did not give the city of York any money to enforce these basically unenforceable rules. We do not have the manpower, or police or even the fire department have enough manpower to run around and chase everybody that's setting off fireworks. This is a time when I need people to really police themselves. It's illegal. It's illegal. These fireworks are illegal. We did not put ourselves in this position. The state government put us in this position. They experimented with our city and other cities around. And I think that it is irresponsible, and we need this revoked. We need the sale of fireworks revoked in Pennsylvania. It is the only thing that is going to stop this. It's madness. People can't sleep. Little children can't sleep. Pets are going crazy. People can't sleep and go to work the next day. I need the people of the city of York to be responsible. Our police cannot come out, and I don't think people, if they think about what would happen if we start chasing around, because that's what's going to happen. I mean, people put these fireworks out in the streets. We come out, there's either nobody there, or they're there and they run. Now our police are chasing people, possibly getting into altercations, possibly using force, over fireworks, which is essentially a ticket. So we are stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's another thing that is impossible for us to enforce that the state has put upon us. So please, if you have a problem with the fireworks, write to your state representatives, write to your state senators, write to the governor, do anything that you can to lobby, because there's no way that any city that I know of, because this isn't just our problem, this is happening in every city around Pennsylvania, that these fireworks in a concentrated area cause safety hazards. We just had an issue with McKinley School and fireworks landing there. This is dangerous. The reason there is a law that says you can't do it within 100 feet of a house is because it's dangerous. It's not safe. And I have a wooden shingle roof. I'm a little nervous. We have to count, and I know we count on our police for a lot, but this is something we just really can't do anything about where there's a good outcome. Either our cops are chasing people around all over the place instead of doing the real work that they need to do, investigating more serious crimes, or they're creating a situation that is a nuisance situation, and there could be an encounter where somebody gets hurt. And then how do the police look? So we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So please, police yourselves. Please, have a conscience. Think about your neighbors. I mean, we need to do this more anyhow with the loud music. There's a lot of things where people just aren't being neighborly. They're not thinking about other people. This world, this life is not just all about you. It's time that we start taking responsibility for ourselves and realizing when we are harming our neighbors and take it upon ourselves. You know, I know a lot of the same people that are doing these things are people of faith, but they get want to have a little fun with fireworks. Well, think about your neighbors. Love thy neighbor. The fireworks, I know it's a thrill. It's a quick, short-term thrill. And meanwhile, there are people with PTSD. There are young children. There are animals that are all suffering because of these fireworks. And only you can take care of you. So please, I hope that this message gets out, that people will start thinking about their neighbors more. And speaking of thinking of your neighbors, you know, with the COVID crisis, we have been thinking a lot more about our neighbors, not just ourselves. We wear masks not to protect ourselves, but to protect others. We've been doing fairly well in York City. We've been holding steady, and I always knock on wood when I talk about positive things, and I've got a lot of positive things to talk about here, so I'm going to knock on wood. But we've only had 5 deaths in the city of York, and my condolences to all the families, but compared to other places, that is very low. The county's numbers are still growing, and now that we've opened up for business, there are more county people coming in and out of the city. We need to continue to wear our masks whenever we are in close quarters, whenever we are in close contact, when we go into businesses where people are serving food. Of course, you can take your mask off to eat or drink a beverage, but other than that, we need to be, when we're within close quarters, we need to be wearing our masks. And I just spoke with, I will say, I just spoke with Senator Kristen Phillips Hill this morning, and you see people shaming each other about not wearing masks, and we have to be really careful, or wearing masks. We have to be really careful about that. We don't know what's going on with the other person. There are people who may have very vulnerable family members, or they may be a vulnerable person and they may wear their mask all the time. There may also be people that have conditions that make the masks, that the masks make it hard for them to breathe, and they're choosing to, or maybe have even been medically directed to, not wear the masks. So please be cautious about how much we judge each other. It is a requirement, and I believe that even most people with any kind of medical conditions can wear the mask for the short period of time it takes to go in, get some food, go in, sit down, because when you're sitting down, you don't need to wear the mask. Let's just remember, again, to be kind to each other and thoughtful of what other people are going through. The decisions that we make for ourselves can't always mean that everybody has the same circumstances and is making the same decision. I want to talk about the budget for a minute. The city's budget, we have major issues, particularly because of COVID. We can account for at least a loss of $2.2 million in our budget because of revenue, because of people being out of work. We're not getting the income taxes. Because of businesses getting closed, we're not getting the mercantile and business taxes in. We had free parking for 2.5 months. We had the parking garages were open. There was a lot of sources of revenue that were budgeted in that we knew to expect that we're not getting now. And we're not going to be able to provide all of the same services that we've provided in the past. The money is not there. You understand, if you were unemployed during this, the money was not there for you and you couldn't do everything. Well, the city is a big family and it's a big budget, but our budget has been cut now by over 5%. So among other things that you will see, like the parks maybe not getting the grass cut as frequently, not trimming around all the edges, not doing all the little labor-intensive work that we usually try to do. But also, we have had to furlough people. We've had to cut hours for many people, and in some cases, cut people altogether. And a furlough is a temporary layoff of work. And we hope to have people back this summer still. That's what we're working on. But when you lose 5% of your budget, that's close to a month's worth of money. Imagine just shutting every single thing down for a month. Well, we can't do that. The city can't function that way. So we have to take what we can and find those that are not always part of the essential services. We've done a lot with essential services. We understand, kind of understand what's essential and what's not. But obviously our firefighters, our police, we're having to maintain. And some people, though, we've had to cut, and unfortunately, in the parks and in the highway, we've had to cut some folks. We've cut folks from finance, HR, economic development, across the board. We've made some cuts, and it hurts. It hurts us, but we don't have any choices. When you don't have the money, you've got to figure out a plan, and this is the only plan available. So I appreciate how much support employees have gotten, but this isn't a question, this isn't a choice. This isn't a, hey, we really want this employee back. We had, we had to do what we had to do, and we're going to continue operating that way. We cannot print money. We're not the federal government. We can't borrow it from China. We can't do anything like that. So folks are on furlough. Finally, I wanted to bring it back around to what I consider the much needed protests of the last few weeks, and some gatherings and marches are continuing. Monday nights at Penn Park at 6 o'clock, folks are meeting, and then also you'll see them marching around the city. And we've had a beautiful, beautiful church service in Penn Park yesterday. So these things are an important part of the democratic process, your First Amendment right to bring the grievances to your leadership. And I respect it greatly. And I even respected, in this case, I agree with the grievances, but in other cases, I may not agree with the grievances. But it is an important part of the democratic process, and sometimes we are inconvenienced for that. I'm very proud of York City, but I also want people to know that what you see is not always all there is going on. So what a lot of people saw was a city where there didn't seem to be, other than some of the police marching with the protesters, the police commissioner and some of our other officers, they said there aren't any police around. We're not safe. How can that be safe? And I want to assure folks that the police, the state police, other supportive units were all here and present. It's just they didn't need to be on the streets. They didn't need to be confronting protesters. They didn't need to be making themselves target of anger that was could have been placed upon them. There were many reasons why I chose, and this was my decision, I chose not to have the armored vehicles or the shields and helmets and all those things on the streets. But I assure you, and I can tell you by the $81,000 bill that we just figured out it costs us for 8 days of protest, that we had the people in reserves. They were in the buildings, they were on the sides, they were keeping an eye on things, they were here in City Hall and at the police station in case anything happened. Not to suppress freedom of speech or to suppress the right to gather, but in case any of the bad rumors about either far leftist or far right individuals coming in to cause damage and violence. That's why our police were prepared. And unfortunately, as I said, we've already lost 2.2 million. Well, 81,000, that's another nearly 100,000. So now we're up to 2.3. That was 25% of our overtime budget we spent in 8 days. So I'm bringing this up. I know it might sound like kind of mixed messages because I'm very happy about how things go or how things have gone, but they come at a price. And at this time, I hope that the people of the city of York will respect that not everything is going to run like clockwork right now. The grass is going to get a little bit longer in the parks because we're working at 40% capacity. The parks people have been taken from 40 hours a week to 16 hours a week. And that reminds me of one other thing. If you see something in a park or anywhere that needs immediate attention, please call the city offices, or there are complaint forms on the yorkcity.org. If you scroll down on the front page, it says, what would you like to do? And there's a place to click on right there, complaint, property maintenance complaint, or any other kind of complaint. We're still functioning at that level. We're not all present. We're not omniscient. We don't know every corner, what's going on in every corner of the city. And now we are at an even lower capacity to be able to have eyes on everything. So it's your eyes that matter. It's your city, your community, and your government. And we need your help. So if you feel like you want to help, let us know when there's something wrong. If you want to clean up some streets, I saw some street grates that after the last rain had a lot of trash in them. We need your help. If you have an opportunity to and want to help us, please go ahead and pick up some trash, make a call, put in something on the complaint form to help us dial in where we need to be at any given time. But at this time, the city can't be all that we wish it could be. The city government can't be everywhere that we wish we could be. So we need your help. So with that, I hope you will reach out to us. I hope you will help us in your neighborhoods. And I hope now that the businesses are all open, even some of them at 50% capacity, I hope you're being safe, but visiting your businesses and helping out those that have lost income for the last few months. It was a beautiful weekend out in the city of York, and I know it's going to be a beautiful week, so I hope to see you around the city. Have a good week.